In this video, traders, we're going to talk about setting good trading expectations. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to an area where we can upload trading plans, and lots of members upload trading plans from various different goals and attitudes to trading. Some guys say, hey listen, I want this as a secondary income. Some guys are saying, hey, I want to make this a full-time career. Some are saying I want to make X into, I want to turn 200 grand to 2 million, whatever the thing may be, want to get profitable, whatever the thing may be. So these trading plans have trade expectations in, and whilst the trading plan is very often to do with setups and strategy, etc., we have a scenario where we want to have some expectations about what we're trying to achieve in trading. Otherwise, we're kind of just going to tread water and we don't really know if we're pushing towards the goal. So the first thing here is to be realistic. Now, let me just qualify this for a second. Realistic doesn't mean you can't say to yourself, in 5 years time, in 10 years time, I want to turn my 10 grand into 10 million. There's nothing wrong with having a lofty trading goal. At the end of the day, guys, we are in a sector that actually, can be very, very lucrative if we get things right. And it can be very, very lucrative, very, very quick. We can in a situation where, it snowballs and we do make a lot of money. And so those aren't completely unfeasible goals, and I definitely do think you should have something, but then that's your kind of moonshot goal. It's like, okay, the chances of everybody getting there are slim. 1 in 1,000 might get there, 1 in 10,000 might get there, but there's no harm in having that as a long shot. But then when we talk about the realistic goals, we're going down in time frames, because what we're trying to do with our expectations is set realistic expectations so that we feel like we've got some momentum and we feel like we're making some progress. If you've got a 10 grand account, a realistic expectation might be to say, okay, well, hey, you know what? I want to make that into 20 grand or 30 grand at the end of the year. That's a realistic expectation for trading. And you're going to have to take a little bit more risk with that. You know that you're going to have to work it back and how much you're going to have to make per month, add into your losers, how many trades have got to make. It becomes a feasible formula that you can potentially solve. Now, listen, is it going to be guaranteed? No, of course it's not. You've still got to make the trades and do the good trades, but that becomes a more realistic expectation than going, okay, I want to turn the 10 grand into 1 million. And again, that's possible. Of course it is. You could punt it all on one out of the money call option. It comes in and you make the million. But that's not what you're here for. It's not why you're involved in the market. We're not looking for luck, and luck does play a part, and we can take luck as it comes our way, but we can also ride bad luck as well. We want to be able to weather the storm. What we don't want is to put all our chips in one thing and it just happens to be a random outcome. That doesn't make any sense. So realistic expectations of how much we're looking to make, and also how much time we're committing to it. At the end of the day, if we have an expectation again of, hey, I want to become a full-time trader after 6 months, and you're only able to maybe do 1 night a week at it, you're probably not going to work. You're probably not get to a point where you feel comfortable enough to make trading the full-time job that you want when you haven't got that much time to put in it. You have to stretch it out. So listen, I'm a huge favor of having lofty goals, of having things to aim for, of having complete unreasonable things to aim for, but then breaking it down and going, right, what's a reasonable expectation for me? Where can I be in the next quarter? Where can I be in the next 6 months, the next year? Is that achievable? Yes, because if you don't believe it's achievable, you probably won't even, it's pointless doing it. If you keep saying to yourself, I'm gonna put my account into 2 million quid, and you're sitting there with a 5 grand account, you're not gonna believe that. You're just not going to believe that it's possible, and even if you do kind of start to get some traction, you know that perhaps when you get, just think of it yourself, if you got to £250,000, let's say you said you're 5 into 250, and then you go, right, I'm still aiming for the 2, you're probably going to be, right, I'm going to sit on my 250 and scale back the size, so I don't want to risk the 250, I've made quite a good return from my 5. You get the idea, guys. Just a little bit of realistic views on it, but still having that really lofty goal in the mind somewhere, but scaling it back and making it into chunks you can achieve. So smaller milestones is a great kind of thing to do as well. And what we want to do is, when we get to this situation, the expectations, we now want to put the money to one side. We're not trying to make the money. We have the money there because that's why we're all in trading, guys. We need to enjoy the process. At the end of the day, we're all trying to make money from the market. That's the point of us being in the market, or one of the main points. So once we've done the money side of things, now we go to process, and so we break it up into smaller milestones. We say, okay, let's just say we want to double your account in a year. Fine, you've got a 50 grand account, you want to double it to another 50 grand in a year. This is a kind of reasonable target for an active trader. So now you go, right, what do I need to make in a quarter? What do I need to make in a month? And do I want to break it down into a week, or do I want to just do a month because I might have a week that's down or up, depending on the type of trader you are, swing trader, day trader. So you break it into smaller milestones, but then once the money thing's done, we decide on the money, we forget about money now. Now we move to process and we break it down into process. So let's say to get to what can't remember what I said now, let's say we're trying to get to 5K a month. What is the process required for this? Well, you're going to have to do scanning. If you're swing trading, scanning every Sunday. You're going to have to look for specific setups that offer a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You're going to have to risk X amounts per trade for this. You're going to have to make sure you keep a good journal so that you can go back and look at the trades that are working well. You're going to have to make sure you do this, do this, do this. Now, rather than just a pie in the sky, I want to try and make this, and we're going just shooting from the hip on a gambling expectation of, oh, I want to try and make 5K, I need to make 5K, let me punt on this, let me punt on this, let me punt on this. You go, no, to get to that, if I stick to this process, this is my best possible shot of making the 5, the next 5, the next 5, maybe I'll make 10, then I can afford to make 3, then I can afford to do this. It becomes a process orientated, which is what you can control, because there's nothing more frustrating, guys, than saying, hey, I want to hit 5K this month, and being short and thinking, well, I've done everything right. Well, that is always often the way. You know, the market will give you what it wants to give you. You can't control how much you make. What you can control is your process. So now you work back and go, what do I need to do from a professional trading perspective to get to that 5K a month? To get to that point, right, I must get up at this time, I must do this. That's when your trading plan comes in, that's when your discipline comes in, that's when sticking to it will yield the rewards you want. So breaking up into the smaller milestones, basing it around process, not profit, because we can't control the profit, but we can control the process. Now, it should be challenging. You don't want something that's like, okay, well, I've got 50K, I want to try and make a grand this year. There's no point. You know, we're not in the game to do this. We're in the game to make significant returns because we're taking much larger risk. You know, it just wouldn't become worth it. And also, it's not challenging for you. Now, one caveat to that is if you're learning, then by all means, but then you're not risking 50. You might have a 50K account, you might say, but I'm going to risk 2 this year, and I'm going to trade the smallest possible size and learn for a year. That's different. But when we go to the challenging perspective, the process should be challenging for you. It should be not too challenging that you don't do it, not make it so you've got to do stuff every day and this and every hour is filled up with looking at charts. Pointless. But challenging enough that you get into the mode of discipline, you get into the mode of sticking to the routine. And also the point of having it challenging, guys, is that you feel like a professional trader, you feel like a professional trader. You go, right, actually now I've done stuff that's hard, I've done stuff that's challenging, I've done stuff that's really, really, really pushing me. And that makes me feel like I'm doing stuff that other traders aren't willing to do, so I'm going to get what other traders do not get, which is profitability. So make it challenging for you. Fifth and final thing, guys, some form of accountability. Go and find somebody who you can be accountable to. Find somebody who say, this is my process, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to stick to it, this is where I want to achieve. Help me be accountable. This is what I'm going to do this week. I'll report to you at the end of the week and I'll tell you how I've got on. And that will help you stay on the track. It's all easy when we're all fired up, ready to go. Yeah, let's go. It's like trading on Sunday night, we're all ready to go. Monday comes around, you take a few hits on Monday morning, take a few losers, all that enthusiasm can get squashed. And it's when it's squashed, you're picking yourself back up, sticking to the process, that separates where you're going to be at the end of the week. You compared to somebody who just gets despondent straight away. And accountability will really help with that. If you can think, I'm going to have to report at the end of the week, I need to pull my socks up and get on it and stop crying about this and just keep moving forward. So guys, that is setting good trading expectations. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.